Well, joining us now is a chartered accountant and the senior manager, finance, administration and strategy at the Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria, Dayo Lumuwagun. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us
Always
at TVC
Good
Breakfast.
morning.
I don't know, what's your reaction to the news by this arrangement, government to government approach to especially Ajaokuta Steel, a company which has been on the minds of so many people? For years, Nigeria had, sunken a lot of money to revive the steel plant, but nothing happened. But now we are seeing that attempts have been made to bring back Russia. They started the project, if you would recall, and now the president is pushing to have them back on this project. What's your reaction to this?
I think my reaction will be it's a welcome development. I think it's very good for the country. I mean, in this, the present state where we have found ourselves, the economy and all of that, and this is a project that has been in the heart of every Nigerian, and
yes.
Because of the potential that it could be, it has to do with employment and all of that. So we are hopeful. I mean, we can only hope that this new arrangement, this new deal between the two countries, will see the light of the day and will produce good result. But if you ask, I think it's a welcome development, especially as we're partnering with Russia now. I mean, but again, even as I say that, it's important to note that we will have to develop ourselves from here, and don't necessarily have to be relying on outside. The outside world to help us.
But we've not been able to do anything. If we had to develop ourselves from here, we've not been able to achieve much. Like I said earlier, that we have sunk so much into the steel company. Yet several administrations come, go, try to revive the steel plant, but nothing happened.
You see, and exactly what I'm trying to say there. You see, you will not expect foreigners to come and develop your country for you. It has to start here. They can give you support as long as the infrastructure, as long as our setup here does not guarantee that this project we see the light of the day or end well at the end of the day. It doesn't matter where you go, whether you're going to Russia or to Germany or to the US or to wherever. Now, these bilateral talks are good. And it's good that, the guy saying, we're going to help you do this, we're going to help you achieve that, we're going to help you. But if we're not going to look inward and address ourselves and talk to ourselves, what exactly is wrong? Are these things rocket science that we cannot achieve? Now, it doesn't matter which country we're partnering with. It will still end up the same way.
But that also is all about implementation. We've had policies that has been put in place by the government, and we see that lack of implementation has been the problem here. How do we move from that to achieving what you have said, looking inwards to develop ourselves?
So again, the lack of implementation, you see, my challenge with that is when iniquity is not punished, the mind of people is committed to do evil. So because they know there's no repercussion. Now, we're talking about all those abandoned projects and Ajaokuta Steel and all of that. Now, who are the people that have been involved in all of this? Now, you hear government is doing this pro, government is doing that pro, and you're asking yourself, so what happened at the end of the day? Now, because if I know that the people who have gone before me, and done the wrong things, were not punished, they are not brought to book, justice is not served, at the end of the day, I may be tempted to do that. And so, talking about implementation, now, you have to look at it critically. The project, the proposal, whatever you put on ground, does it justify? How are we doing it here? How are they doing in other countries? Okay. So, for example, I see a situation where a project that another country will handle for maybe $1 million will come to Nigeria and it's about $5 million, $10 million. And you're asking yourself. So, I think the basis, we have to look at the basis first and be sure we're on the right track. Then we'll begin to talk about the implementation. But clearly, these are not rocket sciences that we cannot attend to.
Dayo Lumuwagun, thank you for your time on TVC Breakfast.
Smart man.
Well, joining us now is a chartered accountant and the senior manager, finance, administration and strategy at the Private Sector Health Alliance of Nigeria, Dayo Lumuwagun. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's always a pleasure. Good morning.
All right, in all of this that we are looking at, let's look at the trade agreement and the implementation of that. We always see that is a problem in this country. We have bilateral agreements signed between both countries, and when these guys come into the country, they have one issue or the other. How do we ensure that when they come in to implement all of the agreements, they stay and they can implement further?
So I think it will start with do we actually have the will to make those agreements work? So if the will is there and the government is ready to do its own bit, now it makes it easier. But again, you also look at the other factors. You look at your infrastructure on ground, you look at your security, you look at other critical things. So regardless of whatever agreement that is signed, I mean, if you look at it, the last 4 years that Buhari has been around, he's traveled a couple of times, and you will expect that by now we should be getting the dividends of those travels. But I can confirm to you that if you look at it, maybe you are going to use I mean, it looks like those traveling are not generating the kind of benefit we expect. If you look at the FDI, for example, it's been dropping from what we have in 2015 to compared to what we have now. You know, and it's dropped so significantly from maybe, I think about, you know, it dropped so significantly that you seem not to be comfortable to say these things are generating the dividend we expect, and the answers are not far-fetched. Now, if your country is not safe, I'm not sure what policy the government will roll out tomorrow. I mean, the economic policy are not stable.
Policies
now,
are not solved.
definitely, it's not about the agreement. We have to do, there should be the will, and the other critical factor should be in place before the second war.
Let's look at the areas in focus. We're looking at oil and gas as well as security. And the country, as we know, has been bedeviled with issues of insecurity over time. And we are looking at buying some fighter jets from Russia. But then beyond all of that, what more effort would you see, do you want to see with regards to issues of security? What more would you want to see between Russia and Nigeria in tackling insecurity in the country?
So I think they also talk about offering some training and intelligence on Nigeria. Maybe that is good. I mean, but beyond that, now you can give ammunition, you can give training, you can give intelligence, you can give this, you can give that. Now, Russia is not going to come into Nigeria to secure this place for us. And that is the truth. That's the bitter truth we must face. Now, what exactly is wrong with our security apparatus in the country? Now, what are we doing? Now, do we need to change anything, even the way we are set up, the way we are structured? Now, you ask somebody to go to my village from Abuja to go and police them. The guy don't even understand their language. He does not even understand anything. Do we need to look at our constitution again? Do we need to restructure this country? Do we talk about state police? Do we begin to look at those directions
long-term
to
and
see
short-term?
what exactly can happen?
In the short term, what can we do? In the long term, what can we do?
So I think, yes, if you're looking at the long term, ultimately you're looking at tweaking your constitution. But in the short term, you see, again, you're asking yourself, the people that are involved in this insecurity, I mean, we know them. How many people have been brought to book? Again, when people think they can do whatever they want to do and go scot-free, it's not going to help anybody.
All right, thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you for your time on TV.